Sonny is a big game player that they have, and I think it's a big old signing that for Tottenham. He's just such a lovely guy. Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here. It's that time of the week to talk all things Tottenham Hotspur. I thought I'd get this video in specifically today because I think it's going to be a pretty busy week ahead. I don't know if I said this in the last video, it was something I'd written, but I know we've had a few various things happen in recent days, but I was always told, I was told a few days back that this coming week was going to be the one where we're going to have a fair bit happening. So I thought I'll get this video in first. Otherwise, we'll end up having a week where I'll do a video and then loads of stuff happens that I haven't spoken about, whereas I can kind of properly then round it up next week. You know what will happen now. I'll say this, and then as soon as this video gets launched into the world, loads of stuff will happen. But that's Tottenham Hotspur. That's what you've unfortunately got to kind of put up with. As a reporter, things can change or things can suddenly accelerate very, very quickly. It was pretty much a comprehensive performance. It was exactly the same as the Orient game. You know, I've got to say exactly the same thing. Ultimately, still not about the result. It was more about getting fitness. But what I thought was pretty cool, first off, was seeing Sonny back. Sonny absolutely is just such a level above so many players. And there's no disservice to other players. It really isn't, because he's that good. And he just raised the game of Tottenham's play so much. You know, a goal, 2 assists. Only did the 45 minutes. He and Oliver Skip both did 45 minutes each. And then at half-time, during the half-time interval, they were kind of doing their warm-down. We knew they were heading off. But obviously, that wasn't even the biggest thing this week for Son Heung-min. We also got his new contract. Yay! Finally announced. It's one of those that, you know, you've heard me say. It's been agreed. Let's be honest. It's been agreed for a long time. And it was just a case of getting past that. I remember, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you know, I said before, the Bank of England loan had to be paid off. You couldn't use any of that money towards anything to do with player acquisitions or keeping players, stuff like that. So they had to wait till that was paid off. And then obviously Sonny had to come back. You know, had to come back from his summer and get back in, get all the new kit, all of this sort of stuff. The new kit, away kit was launched as well, which looks like someone's had a paintball fight in it. And then once all that was done, finally they could announce something that we've kind of known has been coming for a long time. But that doesn't lessen the excitement of it. You know, 4-year deal as well, which is fantastic. And there was a really, well, 2 things were good. His interview was really good, essentially saying, you know, very much he could have just said, I love this club, I want to stay. But he didn't just say that. He said, look, I want to win stuff. And I feel I can win that with Tottenham, which gives you a little insight, hopefully, into, you know, maybe an excitement among some of the squad of what they hope Paratici's going to do this summer and what kind of squad Nuno Espirito Santo is going to bring. You know, certainly know the players very positive about Nuno Espirito Santo as well so far. They've enjoyed working with him. He's very direct and honest. Was it Japhet Tanganga told me, he used the word transparent about him, and I understand that some of the players have been very clearly told they're either are or aren't in his plans, and I think that's probably I think players want to know that. I don't think players want to either just be hidden from them, or, you know, or saying that they're in your team, or just not talking to them at all. To just be straight and honest, especially this early in the summer or pre-season, is a good thing. So yeah, that was great news for Sonny. That interview was good, and there was also a really nice thing, if you haven't seen it, of him looking back over some of his kind of big goals and moments. And he's just such a lovely guy. You know, not to beat around the bush, he's just such a lovely guy. Honestly, very fortunate to have interviewed him a few times. And he, exactly as you imagine, he makes you smile. He's a very happy, smiling chap. And he makes everyone around him that little bit happier. And you can't say that about many people in the world. And I think that's a really, really cool thing. And that's not even taking into account the incredible talent he's got. For me, the next step for Sonny is to essentially do what he's been doing in recent seasons, but just consistently stretch it out across a whole season. And that's not his fault. He's overplayed. He's massively gets... Last season, I think only Højbjerg played more minutes than him as an outfield player. And, you know, we're going to talk about a certain player a little bit later who I'm hoping will allow Sonny to get a little bit more of a rest at moments we can, so that he's there for all the big games and stuff. And I think probably Sonny is more, arguably, Spurs' most consistent big game player that they have. Maybe this is one thing that's said about Harry Kane, that sometimes he isn't really turning up in the biggest of games, whereas I think Sonny on the bulk, the majority of them does. And I think it's a big old signing that for Tottenham. We've talked about transfers, but I think getting Sonny to commit, he's 29, a 4-year deal as well, could well see out his career at Tottenham. He really could, and I think, I love Sonny. There's no getting around it. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. I love Sonny.
I love Sonny.